Welcome to the Farmerdale Podcast. Welcome to the Farmerdale Podcast. Welcome to the Farmerdale Podcast.
Well, hey. Welcome to the Farmerdale Podcast. We're so glad y'all are listening today. Hope you've checked out all the other episodes. You can get those on all the other different types of platforms out there. But hey, thank y'all for listening. Thank you for helping us grow this channel. And I'm very excited about our guest today. So excited about our guest today. We'll talk about him in just a second. But we got some advertising going on. We started a whole new way of producing the show. And we got advertisements at the beginning, we got advertisements in the middle of the show, and we'll have some at the very end. So we'll see how that goes, but still not too late to advertise with us. You can always email us at farmerdalepodcast@gmail.com, and we'll talk more about that towards the end. We also have some exciting news to bring to you at the very end. So listen all the way to the end, because you are going to want to hear that. So, hey, our special guest today, his name is Jay Stephenson. He is my pastor at the church that we attend, at Manor Community Church. This is going to be a good one. We got a lot to talk about. A lot to talk about. I hope we can get it all in. If not, we can bring him back at another time, but we got a lot to talk about. So, hey, let's just jump right on into it and see what our conversation was all about. All right, well, welcome back to the Farmerdale Podcast. I got our special guest that I was telling everybody about, Jay Stephenson.
Hey, Dale.
Yep, he is a UT fan. You can see his UT shirt there.
I'd always represent.
We'll talk about that later on. But Jay's our pastor at the church that we attend now. And we're going to talk a lot about the church and those kind of things too. But let's talk about gardening first.
Jay? Yeah, I'm an expert at gardening, Dale. Yeah. That's why I'm here.
Well, let's start out with, what is your favorite vegetable just to eat?
Ooh, favorite vegetable just to eat? Probably an onion.
I love
onions.
Like just straight up onion?
You have to cook it, but with enough butter, salt, and pepper, love onions. I love onions on all kinds of stuff.
Okay, well, I like onions too, but I don't know if I just eat a straight onion though.
Yeah.
Anyway, raw, saute.
No, that's what I'm saying. You got to cook it.
You got to cook it. You got to cook it. Okay.
I love onions.
Okay. Have you ever grown onions?
I tried. Did not do too well.
I'm not real successful at onions either.
We tried green onions. I'm going to do that better this year.
Some scallions, that type of thing. Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. Boy, that sun's really shining in here today. It's hot over here on my side. So.
I was going to say, it's hitting you pretty good. Do we need to move the table?
It's probably shining off our bald heads, probably.
That doesn't help.
But it is. Okay. Well, because we grow a lot of vegetables, right? And I heard that you grow a few things. Yeah. And you got a greenhouse, too.
We do. We do have a greenhouse.
You made your own greenhouse.
I made my own greenhouse, yeah.
That's pretty cool. So what type of vegetables have you tried?
Well, of course, squash and zucchini are the easiest and things that I've grown that I've enjoyed. Tomatoes, of course, a lot of tomatoes, which is funny, though, because I don't really like tomatoes, but they're easy to grow, so we've done that a lot. So.
Don't like tomatoes?
I'll eat them, but not really.
Don't like the taste or the texture?
It's just got to be a good, firm tomato. Anything squishy, the texture, just not, doesn't my thing.
When we've talked about that before on a lot of different things, but I can just slice it up, salt and pepper.
Yeah, and I can if it's the right one, but like big chunks of...
Well, the ones that we grow, you would...
I probably would like those.
You haven't tried one of those yet.
I haven't tried one of those,
So you'll get some of those this summer. All right, so what about peppers? Peppers are really easy to grow. You tried some
we have not done real good with green peppers. I need to learn what you done. Like, we've seen some, but we'll probably have, 20 plants, and I may get 10 peppers. Okay. So I don't know what we're doing wrong. I know that there's a lot of what you plant them next to, right? Is that a big deal?
Yeah, it could be, and they can cross-pollinate too, so you get a different flavor sometimes if you cross-pollinate them, and different peppers close together. Like if you try to grow a hot pepper next to just like a jalapeno, it will make the jalapeno even hotter. Okay. Which you don't really want. And you don't want to grow them next to banana peppers and stuff like that either. So.
Yeah, we've done jalapenos, but they're so inexpensive at the store that they're really almost not worth growing.
I've got several people, they pickle them. Yeah. So they buy like 5-gallon buckets of jalapeno peppers
There
because
you
they
go.
don't want to go to the Kroger and get them.
Yeah, we like the green peppers, but I need to do better on production.
Yeah,
So.
they're we've always said are really great success, really actually. All right, so what is the one vegetable you would never eat?
Ooh, one vegetable I would never eat.
Did you grow up liking vegetables though as a kid?
No, I mean I didn't.
Yeah.
I didn't grow up in a house where like they made us eat vegetables, but like my grandmother had a farm, and so we did. Like radishes, I don't know that I would eat a radish. That's a vegetable, right?
I don't like those on salads or anything.
Yeah, I don't either.
I think that's probably the only reason you would eat a radish on a salad. Who else would eat a radish?
Yes, I don't know.
We don't grow radishes. We don't.
Turnips.
Yeah,
I don't eat turnips. Yeah.
We don't grow those either.
Greens. I
I
don't
like a good green.
Do you?
Somebody we had a dinner at church the other day, and somebody had used kale, which was a green.
Okay.
They put it like a kale soup with white beans in it. It was really good.
No, that's not my thing.
You should have tried it.
I should have tried it.
The kale was not as strong because it was cooked, so the taste was not as strong as kale can be. Pretty strong taste.
Has kale been out a long time? I mean, I assume it has. Why is it so popular lately?
It's been around a long time, but I think
it's
with
popular.
all the vegan and all that kind of stuff has become so popular. I think the kale, but I don't even think vegans like kale. Because it really does have just a strong taste to it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Okay. Anyway.
Are you going to grow a garden this year?
Oh yeah. I tell you one thing I do want to learn how to do in my garden is watermelon. I love watermelon, and I've always heard they take so much water and so much space, so we've not done it, but that's probably one of my favorite. I love watermelon.
Yeah, they take a lot of space and a lot of water.
Yep, that's what I've heard.
And if you get any squash bugs, they're dead. It will. You get one, it will take your whole entire crop.
The whole thing.
The whole entire crop.
We lost some tomatoes last year for
little worms.
Yeah, some kind of big worms or something.
Yeah, I forgot what those things are called. We haven't had worm problems, but a lot of people do have worm problems.
Yeah.
Especially if there are a lot of trees. You got a lot of trees at your house.
Yeah.
Yeah. So probably a lot of people that in the neighborhoods and in the city, a lot of trees, they have more worms problems than what we do.
Interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. So.
Okay.
Okay. Well, tell me about this greenhouse. You built this greenhouse?
So where we moved 5 years ago, I wanted to do a garden because I thought it would be good for my boys to kind of help them see things grow, and they cared about that for all of about 4 minutes, and then they were done. They would just rather just eat their vegetables and not have to grow them.
Right.
But we learned about starting them from seeds. Starting your vegetables from seeds is so much cheaper, and you can do so much more.
Right.
So we're doing that in February and whatever. And it just took so much space in the house.
Yes.
And I like to build stuff, and we had a good spot, and so I decided to build a greenhouse. I'm learning. I don't know that I fully utilized it because last year I put some plants in there, and you don't realize it'll be, so last year one day it was 40 degrees outside, and it was over 90 inside the greenhouse.
Yeah.
And so what I did was burnt all my seedlings up.
Yeah.
And so I've learned that, all right, I'm going to have to move them into the shade in the greenhouse and because it really does, where we get the sun in there, it'll cook.
Yeah, and that's when we're up here in the grow room, in the Farmerdale grow room.
Pretty impressive, by the way.
It's pretty impressive right here. Grow lights all over the place. We can grow a lot of plants in here, by the way, pretty quickly. And we don't have to worry about the humidity and all that kind of, we can control that pretty easily inside the house, but outside in a greenhouse, it's very difficult with the airflow and all that, making sure you don't get mold and all that kind of stuff. It's a fine science.
Well, we need to put a fan in.
Yeah,
because you've got I've got door on one side, little bitty door just for airflow on the other side. We have to deal with that with our chicken coop, but we don't have a fan.
You got a chicken coop too. You got chickens.
We got chickens.
How many chickens you got?
Right now, 15. 15 chickens, yeah.
So you'll need some eggs.
There you go. We've got eggs. So
are they laying right now? Because it's cold. It's like really cold today.
It's really cold. We have a heat lamp, and so not only does that keep them warm, but it's a heat lamp that has light, and so that's what I've learned about chickens. The reason egg production slows down is because the days are shorter.
Right. That's
so having a light at night keeps them producing. So we're pulling. I mean, we're getting 7, 8, 9 a day.
Wow.
So more than we can probably eat.
Okay.
So
But y'all like eggs, I'm guessing.
yeah, we do. We eat eggs pretty much every day. So
was that your plan when y'all moved out here? Because y'all live about a mile away from us, and y'all got some property. So was that your plan to have chickens?
No. Our plan was just to be outside because we lived in Bartlett, in a city where my boys like to walk out back and shoot guns, and so I've always said it's awkward when you're in Bartlett and you walk out back and shoot a squirrel out of your tree.
Shooting guns around here.
That could be, yes. So out where we are, it's a little bit more normal. So I never thought, I mean, I'm a golfer, so I never thought chickens and garden, but when you have land and you like being outside, I love being outside.
Yeah.
So it's a natural thing for us.
Farmer Jenny will not let me have chickens because she thinks that once it gets cold, like it is today, you know, in the 30s, that she would have to bring the chickens inside.
No.
Well, that's what she would do.
Okay. Wow. Well, then you don't need chickens. You don't want chickens in your house.
Our son has chickens too, and he's trying to raise more chickens. So he likes the fresh eggs.
Yeah.
Which is and those fresh eggs are so much better than
they are very
you can
good.
buy in the Kroger. So that's pretty cool. All right. Well, gardening, chicken farming.
There's
a lot of layers here to you, Jay.
Yes. Well, something like that.
Yeah, a lot of layers. Okay. Well, cool. Let's shift gears into because the podcast is really about people's stories.
Yeah.
And how they got to be where they are today. So I don't know if it was your plan to become a pastor. I don't think it was.
I think so.
It was? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, kind of give me. You don't have to give me a full life story because
Yeah.
we don't have time for that. But kind of give me the highlights of how you got to be where you are right now.
Yeah. I mean, highlights, you say didn't want to be a pastor. I don't know that I ever thought I'd be a senior pastor.
Okay.
So I grew up in the church. I accepted Christ at an early age. Yep. And so I always loved being around the church.
Like
and around
early age. What?
7, 8 years old.
So that's young.
Yeah, it was young. And so I grew up in going to church and being around the church. I enjoyed to serve at the church. I played in all the church league basketball things. Right. And so church was just a normal part of my life. My dad was a deacon. My mom ran the daycare. Okay. Just normal. It wasn't until I got into college that I thought about, I wonder if I would ever want to work at church, if I would want to be a pastor. Right. And God got a hold of my heart kind of as I finished up my time at Union and surrendered to ministry. And
Union Bulldogs.
Union University Bulldogs. So, which is weird. I got a finance degree from Union, but then went to seminary to study
ministry. Did you
ministry.
grow up in Jackson, though?
Mm-hmm, I grew up in Jackson. Okay. So, yeah, my mom actually still lives 2 miles from Union. Okay. So, but we went away to seminary. Lindsay and I got married. Right out of school and went away to seminary.
So what did you get your bachelor's in?
Finance degree. So
finance degree.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, all right.
And so, well, it's a longer story, but I thought I wanted to be rich and be a stockbroker and just, I thought the Lord could use my help, if I could give him some money. And so I would go out and make all the money. Yeah. He had different plans for me. And so graduated with a finance degree, but then ended up going to seminary to study recreation.
And where'd you go to seminary at?
Southwestern at Fort Worth. Okay. And we love Texas. Texas is a great place. Second best state.
We
next
love
to
Texas
Tennessee.
too, like Dallas and the Fort Worth area was really cool. San Antonio was really cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it was great for us being out there, and we really thought we would probably stay out there, but all our family's in West Tennessee. And so as we graduated and came back, I've served at 2 great churches here in West Tennessee. Okay. And then the way our paths crossed was about 2 years ago. We stepped out to plant a new church out here in the kind of Mason, Arlington area, and God was gracious and gave us a place, and that's how we met you guys. And so now I'm senior pastor, which is very different than what I've always done before. I worked in students for 20-something years and loved that. I love student ministry. I love children's ministry, but really have enjoyed being a senior pastor. And so
that's awesome.
Yeah.
So it a step of faith, leaving because you came from a pretty large church. And stepping out in faith, tell me about how nerve-wracking was that, and how did you rely upon God to get you to the point to be able to say, hey, I think we can really do this, and I think this is what God really wants us to do.
Yeah, I think God, through a lot of, for all of us who are Christians, we look back in some points in our life and go, how did I ever do that? Right, and so, but I think it's God's grace in stretching us and preparing us for decisions along the way. And I've often taught that and said that when you really experience God's call and that's what you're supposed to do anything different would be disobedient. Right. And so for us, we were at a spot where I was serving at Bellevue Baptist Church and loved it there. Great people. My boys were growing up there. I'd been there for about 12 years. And so to think about stepping out and starting a new work was not something I woke up one day and thought this would be fun. It was like, wait, what? Like that in a lot of ways it almost feels like you're going backwards. Like, hey, we're expanding our influence, but now we're going to go back and start a new work. Yep. And to be honest with you, it's all the things all of us feel of, I'm not qualified for that. I'm not ready for that. I'm not a great fill in the blank. Mm-hmm. But as you pray through what same thing for anybody. I mean, mine's just because this was what I was doing for my profession, but for anything in life, you start to sense God wanting you to do something, God wanting you to give something, God wanting you to go somewhere. And after a while, once God confirms that in your heart, I think it if I look at it through worldly eyes, it's like, wow, that was crazy. You stepped away from a great church that had all the things you needed to a lot of unknown. It seems like that would take a lot of faith. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But in a lot of ways, I knew I had to do it.
It was easy.
And so it was. It became to a point of, yes, it's going to be hard to think about how is our life going to change?
Right.
But I really didn't have an option at that point. Once I knew in my heart, Lord, you want me to do this? Yeah. That's what we had to do.
That's the way Jenny was, because Jenny wasn't teaching for 20 years, and we were going to Faith Arlington at the time. Had been there for about 2 years, and then we go to church on a Sunday, and the children's director was leaving the church. So we heard them talk about that, and they sent her off, And then I get in the car, and I had this feeling. I'm like, Jenny would be great at this job, right? So I didn't say anything to Jenny that day, but then several days later, I'm driving to work one day, and I couldn't let it go. I'm like, this is what Jenny needs to be doing. So I came home and I said, Jenny, I think you really need to go talk to Brian about you interviewing for the children's director job. And she's like, no. And she was like, I'm not doing that, right?
Oh,
That's not my plan. I said, yeah, but I think it may be God's plan. So she prayed about it, we prayed about it, and then she met with Brian. And then from that point on, she was like, this is exactly what I'm supposed to be doing. So she did that for 3.5 years. And it was exactly where God wanted her. And then one day God was like, hey, I think you need to get back into teaching. So I think being obedient, right, is so crucial to your faith and how you walk with the Lord every day. It's just being open to listening, right? Because we want to direct it so much. We moved to Daphne, Alabama for a year because I thought it would be cool to move away. And after a month, it was like, yeah, this isn't working out. We had a great time at Daphne, but I think God allowed me to do that to get me where I am today, right?
Yeah, you learned from it.
I learned from it. It was like, oh man, I did this all by myself. I shouldn't have done this, right? So it's interesting to see how people get to where they are. So you and Lindsay have been married for how many years now? I'm going to put you on the spot.
I can. Well, only because it's 25 this year. So March will be 25 for
25.
us. Yeah.
Awesome. And you got 3 boys.
We got 3 boys, 17, 18, and 19.
Right. And 2 are adopted.
Our oldest 2 are adopted.
Right. So that's a cool story because y'all adopted once you went down in Texas, right? Is that how the story goes?
Yep.
That's really awesome. I don't think God has ever asked me to adopt. I was like, if God ever asked me that, I'm like, I don't know about that. I don't know if I could do that or not.
We were in a spot where it was very different. That was 17, 18 years ago. Yeah. And so open adoptions were not really a thing. Closed adoption was a lot more. Yeah. It was kind of on the tail end of where you were seeing more open adoptions. Yeah. But a lot of our family was very hesitant about that and going, hey, what is that going to look like? And because you're opening yourself up to a lot of things. And for us, it was another step of faith that and that's another story for another day, but God was very clear, this is what we're supposed to do, even against what I probably wanted. I wanted the safe and secure, and we'll wait for everything to align perfectly. And God said, no, I want you to do it now. And I always tell everybody, looking back, and you've met my boys, I can't even imagine
not having
life not with them. And so God was so gracious to work through that. So
you got a cool family.
It's been a neat
And they're all different. They're all 3 different.
They're all 3 so different. Yeah. So our older 2, they're both adopted, but they're have same biological mom, same biological dad. So it's been interesting for us. And then, of course, our third, so between our oldest to our youngest is only 2.5 years. So they're all right there together. Yep. So we have a case study in nature versus nurture, because our youngest is very much me and Lindsay made over. Right. I mean, he is very much us.
He sings better than you, though.
He sings much better than me, but he sings like phenomenal. His mama. So, but the older 2, same biology, but yet so different. Yeah. And it's just so interesting to see all 3 of our boys. They all 3 love the Lord, all 3 pursuing the Lord, but all have different biology, and God created them each different, but God is using them in different ways. So it's been really
we've
cool.
got a boy and a girl, and they're totally different in every every aspect of life. They've just taken two totally different paths. Well, that's awesome. Well, you got a great family. So let's finish this part off a little bit more about Manor and planning a church.
Yeah.
Going well. I mean, we love coming to Manor. It is, half a mile down the road or a mile down the road. So that was a big plus for us because Jenny and I, after we left Faith Arlington, we had, traveled. I think we visited every church within a 30-mile radius of us. But then we came to Manor, and it was that first Sunday. And I think because Jenny and I had worked with youth, and we still teach all the time, your preaching was like, that's a youth ministry up there, right? It was kind of that's the way it was. It was like, man, this is awesome. The music's awesome. The worship time is awesome. So where do you see Manor moving on? I mean, you've kind of taken it slow on purpose, but where do you see Manor going from here?
Well, I appreciate those kind words. I do need to tell your audience, though, I give you a hard time. I think the reason you really like Manor is you don't leave every morning until about 3 minutes before service starts.
I barely get there in time. I
always give y'all a hard time about that. I always know it's time to start when y'all get here.
I've never lived that close to church before.
I actually live closer than you do, and it's a great thing.
And
so
you ride your motorcycle to church
I
sometimes.
do get to ride the motorcycle to church. So, yes. God's been real sweet. I think so many times in life we maybe have these ideas of the way we think things should be. I think especially even with garden, right? You start in the garden in April, and you're like, I envision this whole big, huge, colorful garden, and it doesn't always turn out that way.
No.
And so I have these plans of the way I thought things to be, and God has just continued to change those in such sweet ways. For me, it was, we're going to step out here and we're going to plant this church, and we're going to have X and Y and Z, and then you start meeting the people, and you're like, oh, that's the fruit, that is the win. Right. It's not about anything we may create in of ourselves. And two, as you meet the people and you learn the people and you learn the people you're trying to reach, you realize, well, those ideas won't work. We've got to do things this way. And so there's been a lot of that we have really had to kind of go slow, because realizing, hey, as a church plant, who are the people in your community you're trying to reach? What are the needs of that community? And what does that look like? Are these people who have been walking with the Lord for years and years and are spiritually ready to lead, or are these people who are still spiritually not quite ready to lead? And so we've met all kinds of different people, and it's been sweet to be able to come alongside and do ministry with them. And I think to have people like y'all who have grown up in the church, been a part of the church, but are also in the community, and go, all right, Dale and Jenny, help us.
Right.
We have our ideas, but what do you think? And that's been really neat to kind of see. And so when you say, what are our plans moving forward? In a lot of ways, we're going to keep doing the things that we set out to do of, hey, we want to continue to put the gospel at the forefront of what we do. We want to continue to teach the word, but we want to continue to meet people and continue to see, all right, who are the people that God's going to bring to the church? We're seeing, a lot of the people that are in our church, this, live within 5 miles of the church.
They live on Braden Road.
They do, right here on Braden Road.
I live on Braden.
And that's so good, and it's so exciting to see, but at the same time, we're seeing people drive from 10 minutes out, 15 minutes out. And, this community, trying to figure out what is this community going to look like in the next 5 years, 10 years, as we're, kind of praying through what God would do.
Yeah, I think it's cool seeing people who are searching for truth. They're looking for somebody, as far as a pastor goes, that's going to just tell them the way it is, right? And that's what we really enjoy, is that I know I'm going to get the honesty from you every Sunday. Yeah. And they may hurt sometimes. They may hurt, but it's what we need. Yeah. So it's cool. And we have such a wide range of people, from young to old to, it's really, really a cool church. So if you want to come to Manor Community.
Hey, come on.
Right on Highway 70. What's the address? I don't even know what the address
1960. I always tell people right next to Slingshot Charlie's.
Right. Yeah.
Slingshot Charlie's.
So, and Slingshot's not open on Sundays, by the way. I don't even know when they are open.
It's
very random.
There's a small window,
it's very random, yeah. Well, all right, we're going to take a break, and when we come back, we're going to talk about a mission trip that Jay and Lindsay took to South Africa. So we're going to talk about that when we come. All right, welcome back to the Farmer Dale podcast. We got the sun still shining. It's a beautiful view back there, still shining. So Jay has taken multiple mission trips before, but he just came back over Christmas from South Africa. And some of the stories he's already told me, which are awesome. But I just want to let him give us a little kind of an overview of what the trip was supposed to be and why you went to South Africa.
Yeah. Well, one of the things we did a couple of years ago is we went on a trip where it's called missionary care. Mm-hmm. So, part of Cooperative Program International Mission Board, we have missionaries all over the world that don't have the luxuries, I guess, that we have sometimes of having a place for their kids to go and be ministered to, or a place for them to get the encouragement they need as missionaries. A lot of them are, in some ways, on an island. They're taking the gospel where there is no other believers, and they're trying to share that with people. And so we have a couple of times done trips where we go and we will minister to these missionaries in one way or another. So this was one of those trips where they gathered all the students of these missionary families came to one location, and we were able to basically host a summer camp for them. In Africa, it's summer for them. Yeah, it was 80 degrees and sunny, and it was beautiful, and it was great. But for a lot of them, they don't get to be, a lot of our students here, they go to camp, but then they go to church with each other the next week. Right. Well, they don't get to see each other but this one time a year. And so they would fly in from 4 hours away, 10 hours away to do camp all week. And so we took a group of people where I got to preach, just like you would do a summer camp. I got to preach every night, and they got to play games during the day and have fun with each other and kind of hang out. So that's what our group did for the week.
Okay. So I just had the thought of, because you told me all this the other day, but these kids leave, and I'm guessing with technology today, they can just continue to stay in contact with a lot of their friends that they're making at these summer camps, basically, right? So just like an American student would, they can leave and come back. They're probably going to fall in love at some point with another missionary kid, that kind of thing.
Well, and a lot of them, yes, they get to stay in contact, but a lot of them do maybe go to boarding school. Maybe if where their parents are serving, there's not the schooling that's needed. They don't want to homeschool, so they may, which is a different way of life for a lot of for us to think about, that you would put your kid on a plane to go 8 hours away to a boarding school that you won't see him again until Christmas.
Yeah,
I've always a ninth grader, 10th grader.
I've always thought that was weird, because I've known other kids that's gone to boarding schools and just in the state of Tennessee. And left their parents, and I'm like, that's so strange.
It's very different.
Very strange and very different. A lot of that was because athletically they did it to go to a boarding school, but that's probably not the case over in South Africa.
Well, it's a great reminder of the sacrifice that a lot of them make to be able to do what they feel called to do. Right.
Are those boarding schools run American, or is it?
It depends on where they are. I mean, one of the young ladies that we were there, she's at a French boarding school. Oh. So she had to learn French to be a part of the boarding school, because that was the best school in that area where her family wanted to send her. Yeah. And so some are English speaking, some are different.
We've had a couple kids that come to Woodland, and their parents were missionaries at some point, and they always just seem to be the most well-adapted kids, or they could just do whatever, and it's probably because of their background. They would just up and make friends at any point in time, because most kids can't do that, right? Yeah. But those, like kind of like the military kids, those military kids can really make friends really easy for the most part.
Well, it's interesting because when you get to know them, they are taught how to build relationships quickly. Right. That's part of their world, is connecting with new people, but also they're so used to being in new situations. Right. I guess the bad side to that, maybe where they live, there's not a lot of people like them. Right. So what's at home in their house is the only time they get people that are like them. Right. But then also when they come back maybe to the States, that doesn't feel like home either, because they're not there very much. Right. Right. So you get into this world where they're quick at connecting. Yep. But they don't really feel at home anywhere. And so that's a lot of why we're able to go do this ministry, to help them know they're loved and cared for, and those kind of things. That's really cool. Yeah.
That's really good. So the travel seemed to be a little rough coming back. Going seemed to be okay, but coming back was a little rough.
Anytime we go over there, it seems like going, the jet lag's not as bad, but always coming back, you're losing that sleep. It always feels a little different. But we got hung up in Amsterdam. So for some reason, our flights ended up having us going through Amsterdam. Snowstorm. Doesn't seem like that would work on the map, but it does. And we got caught in a snowstorm and got stranded there for 2.5 days before we could get home. And they're worse place to get stuck, but
even
still.
in the United States flying, though, we went to Chicago one time, and we flew to Houston to get to Chicago. Yeah. I'm like, that doesn't make sense. I guess for the airlines it makes sense. So,
well, I think it's usually to save $1, right? It's usually a little cheaper to catch that flight. I don't know, but it would be nice if you would just let me have that jet that y'all got. We'll just hop on the jet and we'll cruise wherever we need to,
we don't have that. No, it's not going to happen. Not with this teaching
tomatoes
salary.
aren't doing too good.
Tomatoes and teaching salary is not going to get us there probably.
All
It's
right.
not going to get us there. Well, I'm pretty sure you got more mission trips that you would love to take in the future. So we'll probably come back and visit those whenever or maybe I'll do one with you.
You need to. Yeah, y'all need to.
We'll
so
see.
we're praying about that.
We'll see.
So.
Yeah, I bet you are. I really haven't been on a mission trip. That's what's weird.
Never
Really. I mean, we've done some local, I wouldn't necessarily say it's mission work, but it's, help around the city and that kind of stuff. But as far as really going into a situation, Jenny's uncle always goes on a mission trip to a reservation somewhere every summer, and he always wanted me to go do the games. But the dates never worked out because I was always working summer camps, and he wanted to go in the summertime, and it just I guess because we wanted to go, but we just didn't set up the dates because it never worked out that way. So,
well, I think it's interesting when you think about going and doing things like that, and what we're praying at Manor is the partnership. Because it's a great reminder for how big the kingdom of God is. We want to go and help, and some places do need help, and they need us to come. But in a lot of ways, it just exposes and reminds us how big the kingdom of God is.
Right.
And I think that was one. I'll tell you one quick story from this. One of the students that we met, his dad, of course, a lot of that is establishing, of course, believers, and then raising up somebody to pastor that church so that they can have a church in their area, in their language, and then the missionary would go and work somewhere else. Well, in his developing relationships, one of the things that he's very good at is he's a great hunter. So he's developed relationships with, the locals, so that if a lion gets away from the reservation and comes into a town more than once, they will call him to go hunt the lion.
Wow.
And that's how he's developing relationship with them. Yeah. So it's amazing to see all the different things God lets him do.
Well, in church on Sunday, you showed a picture of a lion. Y'all were out on a kind of a safari type of thing, and the lion was right there at you, right? So it's a little dangerous, it seems like. But that's one of the things we talked about is if we would have gone with y'all, that's the one thing I would have wanted to do. Yeah. You got to go on a safari. You got to see all the things. So, all right. Well, you want to take a drink?
No, I'm good. Sorry.
Okay. All right. That normally happens to me when I'm doing whatever. So
it's the sun.
It's the sun. Well, let's end this thing off on sports because that's my world.
I love sports.
I love sports too. Now you don't root for the team that I would like to root for though.
I root against them actually.
Root against them.
Yes.
All the time. Yeah. Well.
I'm gonna take some water.
Yeah. We're gonna let Jay get a drink of water here real fast. Because Tennessee fans probably, because they got beat by Kentucky today. This is Saturday. They were filming this, and they just got beat by Kentucky, and Alabama beat Oklahoma very at the end. But Kentucky's in basketball is like the rival, right?
Yeah, and this was our chance to beat them today.
This was your chance because Kentucky's not as good as what they normally are. What's your favorite sport? Like, what did you do growing up? Did you play sports? Or?
Yeah, football.
Okay.
I mean, I love football. I played all the sports growing up. So any sports, I told you about recreation before. Right, I love sports. Right. And team sports especially, I think is just so many things you learn there. But football was my thing, and football is what I enjoy watching. So, I'll watch it all.
What position in football did you?
So I was offensive lineman, played center.
Okay.
So I always said that we were the ones that made things happen, but we didn't need all the acclaim and all the applause for it, That
was me, because I had to be quarterback or the running back or the linebacker.
Y'all
I had to
needed
be one of those
that,
three. I had to have somebody hyping me up all the time, tell me how good I was, But I really wasn't that good anyway. But I love playing football, and I would probably go back today and play football. If I had the opportunity.
I think it would hurt a little more today than it did.
But I would go back and play football, though.
Okay.
I would do that again. Basketball was my sport, though.
Yeah.
Did you ever get, because you're a pretty tall guy, did you ever get that from coaches of, hey, you're tall, you should play basketball?
Oh, yeah. I played. I mean, I was a center all the time, and so I had to learn, because I couldn't jump. So I was taller, but I just couldn't jump. And so I had to learn how to box out. And so I always kind of prided myself on rebounding, and I could, you just can't get around me was my goal.
Right.
So,
that's cool. What's one sport that you wish you would have played that you did not play when you were in school?
Yeah. Well, golf. I mean, that's the one I love now and I wish I had played that earlier because then I wouldn't have so many bad habits to have to break. So if I'd learned playing,
you might still would have.
I don't know, but I wish I would have played earlier and had that experience of playing in high school golf. That would have been fun.
Yeah, I wish I would have gone, and we talked with my daughter last week about it. Was getting them into golf earlier and tennis earlier, because I really enjoy playing tennis. Golf is kind of like I've never been really good at it. I just kind of knocking around the golf course. But tennis was the one thing I wished I would have played. But I went to a very small private school, so we didn't have cross country, we didn't have soccer, we didn't have golf.
Soccer was not as big back then. It's really become more here. I mean, lately.
Big time. Lacrosse is really.
Oh yeah.
I think I would have enjoyed playing lacrosse though, a stick and hitting people with a stick all the time. I think I really would have enjoyed.
So you're in sports. They say lacrosse is going to take over because it's safer than football.
No,
but those guys,
no,
they're
it's not. No,
it can't
just because
be.
they have a helmet on, no, it doesn't mean that it's safer.
Okay.
It's a really aggressive game.
Yeah.
It's a really aggressive game.
I remember at Union, when I was there, they were getting their soccer team. They had a club team, but they were getting official soccer. Yeah. And they said the insurance for soccer for the school was more expensive than football.
There's 10 times more head injuries and concussions in soccer.
But I thought that's so interesting with lacrosse. Everybody's like, oh, it's so much safer than football. I'm like, no.
I don't know what the concussion rate is on lacrosse, because just getting hit by that ball, I mean, the ball is hard.
That's true.
I mean, it will leave a whelp. If you get hit in the head with one of those things, it could knock you out.
Okay.
It's pretty bad. Yeah.
Can you actually, you throw it? What is it called? It's called something. Can you do that?
We don't have lacrosse at Woodland.
Okay.
We got some kids that play for club teams and that kind of stuff, but we haven't ventured into lacrosse.
I don't know if I could throw it and catch it or not.
Yeah, it's a flip of the wrist and a skill that you really got to practice.
Okay.
But we'll probably know.
So you didn't play tennis?
No, we didn't have it. But
okay.
I kind of played it growing up, just, going to tennis courts, my brother and I. And then one of the fun things we did was after every, especially when it got warm, we had a really good youth group. We were really close growing up, and Jenny was in that youth group. And every night we'd either go, we had a buddy that was a member of the Covington Country Club. Okay. So we'd either... He had a girlfriend that was in the youth group. Jenny was so we would go play golf right after and try to get 9 holes in after youth group. Playing in the dark. Had a good time. Or we go play tennis all together. We had a really, really good time doing that kind of stuff.
So do you play pickleball now then? That's the old people's tennis, right?
This is crazy. We teach pickleball in school. Okay. And we play a lot of it. But I've never actually been on a pickleball court to play pickleball.
Really?
I play at school, and I even teach a pickleball camp at school.
Okay.
But I've never actually been on a pickleball court.
All right. You think Lindsay and Jenny would play pickleball with us? We could go play pickleball?
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool.
That would be. I don't know if Lindsay would do it.
Jenny's asked about that. She's like, we're getting older, so we need a hobby together.
Okay.
Besides just laying around watching TV.
Yes, you do. If that's your only hobby, you need a new hobby, yes.
I don't know if it's a hobby or not, but we're really good at doing that. Well, cool. Well, this has been fun.
Well, thanks for having me.
It's been fun. Well, I really enjoyed coming to Manor. And seriously, if y'all are looking for a great, awesome church that's local, if you're in the Galloway area or Mason or 30 minutes away, it's a great place to come, because you're going to get loved on. Somebody's going to meet you at the front door, and I think that's pretty cool. Some churches don't do that.
Well, hopefully we'll always do that.
Front door. So we're meeting you at the front door, and we'll welcome you in. Plus, we eat once a Sunday.
Once a month,
and on Wednesday nights, which Wednesday nights is tough for me because we're so busy.
I understand.
Sports is just maybe when I retire.
Maybe. We'll see.
Okay, well, Jay, I appreciate you being on the podcast.
Dale, thanks for having us.
And you're my number 2 favorite podcast, because I had to tell my daughter that she was the favorite.
Okay. Well, I don't mind being second to your daughter. Yeah, you're fine.
I don't know. Maybe Jenny was number 2, and then you're
number 3. So am I the 3rd podcast? Is that the way this works?
I think well, it's really the 5th podcast, but Jenny and I did 2.
Okay.
And I did the first one by myself, so I can't
I'll
say
hold on to number 3 until next week.
I was a favorite. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, roll Tide.
Well, go Vols.
Go Vols. There you go. Farmer Dale will be right back. Well, I hope that y'all enjoyed the show today. Jay is phenomenal. If you're looking for a great church, check us out at Manor Community Church, right here on Highway 70 in Galloway, Tennessee. That's right. So come check us out. We got one service. We got community groups on Sunday mornings. They got Wednesday nights. You've heard all about all that. So come check us out if you're looking for a church. If you don't have a home church, check us out, Manor Community Church. But hey, I got one exciting announcement. I've been saying that the Farmer Dale merch store was coming, and the Farmer merch store is here and live and running. You can get your hoodies, you can get your hats, you can get your t-shirts, all with our logos. we got, and we picked out the best hats, my two favorite style of hats. The Richardson 112, this is the one hat I love. I don't know if we got the red, white. I don't really know. You got to go on the website, check it out. And then we got the 47 hat, which I love that 47 hat. And then we've got really nice hoodies. We got really nice t-shirts. We got that comfort color t-shirt, one of my favorite. Nice and soft. You can't beat that. We got it in several different colors with all of our logos. So hey, go to the merch store. You'll see it down linked in the notes below. But go and purchase something. Help us keep this show on the go, because this isn't cheap to keep this going. So help us out. Go to the merch store, Farmer Dale merch store. You'll see the link below. You can also donate to the show too. We got a little, if you go on our rss.com, that website, I'll put that link down below too. You can donate and help us out. We're also looking into having subscriptions to where you can skip all of the advertisements. You don't have to worry about that. And you just listen to us. So there you go. Hey, I hope you'll have a great week. It's been a great podcast. Can't say it's my favorite because, you know, my family was probably my favorite, but Jay was right there at it because he's awesome. So hope y'all enjoyed it. Hope y'all have a great week. We'll see y'all next time. Farmer Dale out.
Down in the field where the sun shines bright, tomatoes red and the squash just right. Okra growing, friends gather round, family and faith in this little town. It's the Farmerdale Podcast, come on in, talking about veggies, love, and friends, thanking God for the life we sow, sunflowers reaching where they go.